Hello.
Hey Sam, what's up,
How's it
man?
going? I'm chilling.
You
It's my
good?
birthday. Feels good.
Nice.
21 years old.
Ha-
Made it this far.
Ooh, happy birthday, Simp. He's
Yay.
officially 21. He's of age.
Oh, yeah.
Congrats,
Hello,
dude.
everybody. It's simply,
And it's the Cheese Meister. Cheese Meister?
and
Alright.
this
I'm not saying that again.
is the
The
Two
Two
Dads
Dads
podcast
Podcast
live.
Live.
Hope
Alright.
everybody's having a great Monday. We've been quiet on the Two Dads front for a while, but we're back and we're in full force, and we've got a very special guest today. But before we get into that, would you like to hear some speedrunning news, Cheese05?
Hit me with it, Big Daddy.
Okay. Well, big news, and this is actually posted by our very own Doug McAleef in the speedrunning Reddit.
Ooh.
Super Mario Odyssey removes all runs with no videos. That is the right move, I think.
Ooh, all runs, no matter what the time is.
Yeah, because you couldn't submit a run without a video that was better than like a 115.
Right,
Like,
which I understood that. Okay, that's
yeah,
that's a big move, dude.
that makes sense. I mean, what happened was at first it was like all fine and dandy, and then of course people, have to make a problem happen, and the problem was that a bunch of people were just submitting their like random times,
I
and
mean
they were all
that
getting accepted.
that's gonna happen, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's the right
and
move. Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah, so good on speedrun.com for nipping that in the bud. Speaking of Super Mario Odyssey, we've got a new world record. Can you guess who it is by?
Um, I think it's Microvita.
No.
Is it not?
Nope.
Oh shoot! I thought it was actually. I thought you were joking, and it was kind of obvious, but I guess it's not. He got beaten.
Yeah, he did. Susaiga actually has been. They've been lately. They've been playing back and forth, tossing the world record around.
Right.
Susaiga came through with a 102.32 in Super
Oh my
Mario
god, did it
Odyssey
too?
any percent.
Because I saw Nitro get the sub 103 recently, but he got it first, right? I'm pretty sure he got it first.
Yeah, that sounds right. I don't want to say for
Okay,
sure, but
yeah, I'm not sure, but I saw him get it, and I was like, all right, finally, holy crap, 102. And I had no clue someone else was like on his bum like that. That's crazy. Okay.
yeah, it's going off. And here, let me just look at the leaderboard. We've got, and then third place is almost a minute behind, 103.32, Goryuya. And then Shaden's a month old, 103.41, still holding up at fourth place. Good stuff. There is some Banjo-Kazooie competition heating up. I don't know if you guys have been catching it. It has been blowing up. I've been seeing a whole lot of it on my Twitter. I've never heard of this guy, Helfos.
I don't know.
He,
Helfos. Yeah, I totally know that name. I've seen it around many times.
I have never seen the name, never heard of him, but he got second place in Banjo-Kazooie with a 205.07. And then Dickus Khan just now, maybe not, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but his time isn't even on the leaderboard yet. He got an even lower 205. And then Hagenator also recently, 22 days ago. There's been a lot of steamy competition going on in the Banjo-Kazooie
Pretty
community right
good.
now.
Pretty good. Every time I see, I don't think it's only Hagenator, but I think it's every time they stream now, they put it in title world record attempts. So I'm just like, I check real quick, like, wait, what? Did they going for world record already? And then I see the time 205. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
these memes, dude, I can't take it.
Yeah, dude, they're memeing. They're trying. Can't blame them. It does get viewers for sure if you
Right.
put that world record holder. They're going for world record. New getting over it world record 129.802 by Mojita,
Ooh.
and there's actually something cool. They put together like everybody's best. It was like a segmented run of getting over it, and it's like a low 1 minute. So that run still got quite a bit to be chopped down, which is absolutely insane.
A 1 minute speed run, so much lower. Wow, that's crazy.
I know.
Tell me about Euromo. Do you know about Euromofu? Apparently got second place in 16 star.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna get to the Mario 64 news. We can segue over there. Let's see. So yeah, I've never heard of him. Yuramofu,
Mm-hmm.
1519 and 16 star.
Ooh.
Sounds like he wants to get the world record. I'm gonna assume he's Japanese just from that name, but
Yeah.
let's see.
I mean, it could be a weep.
I don't even see Yuramofu isn't even on the.
They've been talking
Yeah,
about him lately. I don't know about him either, but people have been talking about him for like the past 2 weeks, and that's how I know about him.
Dude, this is some weird thing. He's not on the leaderboard at all. This is like his first submitted run ever. So that might lead me to believe that
He's a cheater.
Yeah.
No. He's been around forever. He's been around for a long time.
Oh, his name is Minami. Okay.
Minami.
I haven't heard of that name either. But trying to take the world record back to Japan. We'll see if he can do it. And we've got Drozdowski.
I don't want it to happen.
Drozdowski's on the grind. I don't know if you've been seeing it lately, but he has been grinding hard on 0-star. Just got a 647 and then a 646. And world record is 644.
I saw him lose a world record run in a clip of him. He was like -7. Did you see that clip? -7. And he bonked on Bowser trying to grab his tail.
I know, dude. God. Yeah, it's definitely been getting to him. Like, I've been in his stream and he's like, how do I not choke the sky? Happy birthday to you. Hello.
Birthday to you. Here's your shot.
Oh, God.
What is in the shot?
Here's a cake.
You have a chaser?
Please show them on camera. Show them on camera, please.
Hello.
Okay.
Happy birthday
All right, hold on. I'm getting attacked.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ryan. Happy birthday to you.
All right. I guess I
Show your cake. Show your cake.
It's Simpan,
Oh, no, do your shot first. Do the shot. Do the shot. Do the shot. Oh, the balloons in the ceiling fan. Yeah. Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
What's in this?
Oh, enough to kick you all, honey.
This is so good.
Okay.
Love you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can you take these so I don't?
I want them to hit the ceiling fan. Oh, zoom in on your cake.
Here, you can check out the cake. Excuse me, this one second.
Now,
We've got this
chocolate
cake.
cake.
Absolutely beautiful cake made by Scent Mom herself.
Oh my God. Did it say Benny on it?
This is safe.
Yeah.
YN.
Hey, cheese. Hi, everybody.
Scent Mom says hello.
Hey, Sim Mom, love you. Tell her I said
All
I
right.
love her.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Anybody want a
thank you so
shout out?
much. Nope.
No.
Nope. Maybe. Probably.
Artemis.
I
Yep.
want a shout out.
Average Trey.
Shout out Summoning Salt.
Huh?
Shout out Summoning Salt.
Summoning Salt.
Summoning Salt.
Summoning Salt. Summoning Salt. Everybody just loves Summoning Salt.
Hey.
Summoning Salt.
What?
Summoning Salt.
Okay.
Everybody
Yeah.
just loves Summoning Salt.
Yeah. Mama.
Oh,
What?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. No.
All right, goodbye. Love you.
Everybody.
I
Okay.
don't want to get into this thing. All right. Well, peace. Thank you so much.
Oh, let me take the cake.
Yeah. Here, take the cake. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing right now.
And we
We're gonna eat
apologize.
it. I got you your special ice cream.
Yeah. Sorry for the interruption there.
Sorry for the slight interruption.
It's just a minor,
Intermission period.
Anyway, you're talking about Drozdowski. He is grinding. Keep an eye on Drozdowski for sure. He is gonna make it happen soon. I believe in him.
It's funny because I'm drinking alcohol too, so we're both pounded right now.
I'm absolutely slammed right now.
All right, so okay.
Couple more things, and then
Hit me up.
Paracusia finally got his 141 that he has been grinding for so
What? I
long.
thought he got it like a while ago, a few weeks ago, didn't he?
No, it was pretty recent. Let's check the date on it. 2 days ago, 141.20. Maybe he had a 141 before that. I don't think so.
Oh yeah, he got a high 141 before that, but okay.
So 141.20 from Paracusia on the grind. He sounds pretty confident, honestly, about getting down to 139.
I mean,
so
that's pretty good. 141.20, and his summer best is like apparently nearly 137, which is pretty.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty insane.
Definitely 140 capable. He's been grinding. He's been working, and we'll see what happens there. Kobe got a 145.42. Congrats to Kobe. And yeah, that's about all I got on the Mario 64 front. Okay. You ready for some action? Yeah,
dude, let's get into it. Okay, so today is episode 11, and we have I think a very demanded guest. I mean, there's so much people almost every time I stream Mario, people tell me in my stream, "Hey, I found you through this guy, his videos," and he's just a huge, how do I say,
he's a big dad.
A factor, a huge
influence.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We always use that word, but it's true. He's a huge influence. His videos are unique and very, very informative.
Mm-hmm.
He goes by the name, pretty interesting name too, SummoningSalt. I'm sure you guys know who he is. Yeah, he has a YouTube channel called SummoningSalt, and yeah, we're gonna get all into the deets right now. So, without further ado, let me welcome the mighty SummoningSalt. How are you doing, babe?
Okay, I guess this is when I unmute. Hello,
Yes.
everybody. What's
How
up?
you doing?
What up?
Happy 21st, simply. It's a big milestone.
Thank you very much.
Too bad it's on a Monday, but you know.
Yeah,
till
you know, we're still gonna
21st.
party. We'll still go
Yeah,
party.
party hard.
There'll be no one there, but hey, lit.
And yeah, thanks for having me. This should be fun.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Really excited. Really excited to have
So-
someone like you, because I don't know. You're very different to everyone else in terms of like what you do exactly.
Yeah, I'm more on the YouTube scene instead of the
Mhm.
Twitch scene. Although I do stream on Twitch. Not many
Yeah,
people know that,
I did
but-
not. I did not know. I knew you had a channel, but I didn't know you were streaming so much to a point where you're actually getting partners soon. I heard.
He got
I have
partner.
partner. I've had
You have
partner,
partner?
for like a couple of months.
Oh shit. Okay.
Mhm.
Well then, yeah, dude.
Congrats.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I
Okay.
play a lot of Punch Out.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
my
I know
main
you have
game.
the. I know about that. Yeah. So yeah.
World
So
record.
hit us with the deets. Where did you come from when you started? What do you run? I mean.
All right, so my introduction to the speedrunning community, it was pretty similar to a lot of other people. It was just from watching speedruns on YouTube. I think I remember seeing Andrew G beat Super Mario Bros. In 4:58. Remember seeing a
Okay.
bunch of Mario 2, the Zero Star tasks, and I didn't even know what Zero Star meant back then.
Right.
But I was just watching this guy, you know, jump backwards with Mario all the way through every level in the
Yahoo!
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't know what was going on, but I knew it was really cool.
Thank you for the
And-
presentation.
And eventually, I found out that people actually did these things live on Twitch,
Right.
and I started watching a few people. My first guy that I really watched was like Andrew G. This was back in like 2014 when he was going for 457. If you guys remember that grind from all the way back then.
Right.
And I didn't even have a Twitch account back then, but I used to go onto Speed Demo's archive, which nobody ever really looks at anymore. But they have like a streamers section where you can look and see who's live to see who's streaming. And I used to just go there like every day and like pick someone new to check out and see how their stream was doing. And,
So did you know? Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, so you used to go into Speed Demo's archive around that time, but SRL was like really big around that. Did you not know about SRL Speedruns Live, or did you just prefer Speed Demo's archive?
I think I knew it was a thing, but I was just used to going to Speed Demo's archive.
Right. Okay.
And I
Really?
knew that there were people there who I liked watching, so I just kind of kept going back there.
All right. Interesting.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait, did Speed Demo's archive? Did it have like a stream? It had a stream section. That you're
Yeah, I
saying?
think they still do.
Really?
They just list a bunch here. I can check real quick to see if they did. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they.
You're the first person that I know that
Oh yeah!
actually checks
Live
out
stream.
Speed Demo's archive.
Wow, they
Well, I
do
don't
live streams.
but I used to.
Right. Okay.
They have a currently offline list. A super long list.
Yep.
Huh? That's pretty cool. So you're an old school man.
Well, not really. Most of the people on that list were like on the offline list or the online list were around way longer than I was. And I didn't do any speedrunning for a while. I didn't really start till later. But I was
Mhm.
watching Andrew G. I was watching Sinister One, who you guys probably know. He did Punch
course,
Out, Ninja Gaiden, bunch of games like that. Big time old time gamer. Mitch Flower Power I used to watch a bit.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, a bunch of guys like that. And eventually I started sort of speedrunning Super Mario Bros. On like a Wii Virtual Console. I got like a 540, then a 530, 520. Just because I
Okay.
figured, well, I've seen Andrew G do this so many times, I might as well try it myself, see if I can do it. And I didn't get a great time, but it was my first exposure to the thing. So it was
Mhm.
fun. And then in like 2015, I started messing with Punch Out because I watched Sinister One play Punch Out all the time, and I kind of just tried to mimic what he did. And he made a tutorial eventually, so I started speedrunning Punch Out. And after about a year of that, I ended up getting close to the world record. And that kind of finally made me decide I should probably make a Twitch account and start, talking with people. So that was my first real introduction to like getting to know everyone, was when I made a Twitch account. And for anyone wondering about how I got my username, there's a YouTube video by someone named Ashens, and he likes to review food that's 30 years old, like in a can.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Try
God.
eating it and
I've
stuff.
seen that guy's YouTube videos. Those are
Jesus.
great. He's on like
Yeah.
a couch, right? Or he puts it on.
Yeah,
like
he
a
has
couch.
this brown couch that he always like reviews stuff on. And one day he did a video about like spaghetti hoops from like 1985, and he's reading the ingredients on the back, and it says seasoning salt, but he accidentally says summoning salt. And I had just seen that video the day I made my Twitch account, and I couldn't think of a username at all. So I just thought, well, that's fresh in my mind. Let me just try it. And
It's a good name.
it stuck after all these years and all these things I've been through.
That's
Still my
interesting.
username. Yeah. So anyway, I eventually played Punch-Out, streamed in front of like 5 or 10 people, ended up getting world record back in early 2016. And throughout all of 2016, that's pretty much all I did. I had a YouTube channel that maybe 10 people were subscribed to, where I uploaded my Punch-Out records.
Mhm.
And that's why if you look at my YouTube channel today, you look at like the oldest videos, all of them are Punch-Out, like speedruns, Punch-Out related stuff. And after several months of that, we went into 2017, and I was looking to maybe try doing something more with my YouTube channel just for fun.
Mhm.
And there's this video on YouTube that not many people have seen called Piston Honda 2 Strategy Evolution or something like that. It was made by Sinister One, and it was just him doing a live stream of talking about how the strategy to beat this one boxer in Punch-Out changed over the course of like 20 years. And it was just, him on his live stream, loading up all these old videos, talking about them in real time. And it's like an hour and a half long. And I loved watching that video, but I realized that probably not many other people would, because it was so long. And even though it was really interesting to me, to an average person who doesn't really care about Punch-Out, they wouldn't want to sit there for 2 hours and watch something about just one fighter. So I was thinking, if I make something like this, except I edit it down, I've never tried video editing before, but I could try it. Try to make a 15-minute long edited version of what Sinister did, except I'll make it about Mike Tyson, since I've played Tyson more than Piston Honda 2. Maybe people will be interested in that. So over the course of a month or two, I made it. First video, world record progression, Mike Tyson. And people liked it, but not many people watched it because Punch-Out's not all that popular.
Yeah.
So 5,000 views after a few weeks, which was a lot for me, but comparative to where it is now, it's not like insane or anything. So up until then, I'd only done Punch-Out stuff, but I figured, well, people seem to be enjoying the idea of looking at the history of these records, so let me try one for another game that I know. So I did Super Mario Bros, because that was a game that I had already done speedruns of, and I'd already seen so many people run it. I pretty much knew everything about the game. And I uploaded a video called World Record Progression Super Mario Bros. And that video pretty much went viral. And that's what made me realize, man, I should probably start making more of these. And I did.
But the one after that was Super Mario 64?
Yeah, the one after that was probably the one that I regret making the most for when I made it. Super Mario 64 120 star. Like that video. I mean, like you guys probably like enjoyed it to an extent, but
I loved it.
Like there's when you look at what I'm doing now, I think there's pretty big differences in terms of like how I made it. I didn't really research anything other than like how the time changed. And even that I kind of got wrong because I looked at a source that had a bunch of wrong information in it. The only contact I did with runners was I sent a DM to Cheese at one point. I don't know if you remember this, Cheese, but I do.
I was about to mention it. Yeah, that I was part of your success in that video. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, you're the only
I remember
person
that.
I asked anything about for that video.
Really? I'm so surprised. I thought you went like deep in that and that stuff because the video was so
Well, I do now,
mean-
but back then I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to make a video about a game I didn't know much about. So I
Okay.
just, I asked you, I asked a couple, I looked at the sources that had the list of the records, and I made the video, and most people like this still. But yeah, I want to like do that one over again at some point in the future.
So that's in the works, or not in the works, but plans.
Future project. Yeah, it's a plan.
Okay.
Nice.
I want to
And,
go ahead and ask.
yes.
Sure, go ahead first. I'll let you finish.
Since then, I've pretty much just been trying to slow down and do a better job with them. Like that's what my goal has been since like videos around that time. I'm trying to like upload maybe once a month or so instead of cranking them out like week after week.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Do you guys hear that right now? Is there a sound in the background?
Only when you talk.
Okay.
For me,
It wasn't
or
bad.
simply?
It's gone now.
Okay. My dad's mowing the lawn.
It's okay. I want to go ahead and ask you. So you say you didn't know anything about editing when you were making the videos. Was it hard to learn to edit? Was it complicated, confusing, or was it simpler than you thought?
I started by using this software called the first thing I used was I tried using Movie Maker, and you cannot edit a video using Movie Maker if you want to have like more than one audio track or like have any sort of movement on the screen with anything, any sort of effect. You can't really use Movie Maker.
Okay.
So then I started using this thing called, I just looked up a cheap video editing software and I found one called Movavi, which is what I used up until late last year. And it's kind of a piece of crap, but it's good if you're just learning how to video edit like I was back then. So I just taught myself, and it wasn't that hard to learn. It took a little while, but after a video or two, I was getting pretty quick at it.
Okay. Because I don't know. I always have interest in learning how to edit and stuff, but I always think it's too hard. Or I need to.
It's really not that hard. Like, all you need to do is just any question that you have about, how to make this effect or how to do whatever. You can just look it up and you'll get an answer within like a few seconds. So it's not really that bad.
So what do you use now to edit videos?
I use Vegas. Sony Vegas. Yeah.
I was using Premiere. I had the Pro. I just had a trial, and that was really nice. But now I just downloaded Vegas.
Yeah,
and
it's good.
Yeah, I've heard
It's
that.
not-
Go ahead.
It's good because it's not that hard to use, given how much you can do with it. Like, there's some software out there that costs like hundreds of dollars. That's really complicated, and it's hard to learn how to use it. But I mean, something like Vegas, it's just really good. I would recommend it.
Okay.
So like Vegas, you can. I'm assuming you can. Like, can you automate zoom in and rotating and moving stuff around?
Yeah, you can do like almost any effect that you can think of. I don't even know how to do all of it, but I know that you can.
Sweet. Well, I'll be learning how to use that like today and tomorrow. It'll be fun.
Good.
It looks a little bit like booty cake, but I'm gonna assume that it's pretty powerful.
Booty cake.
What is that?
It just looks like really old school. I don't know. It doesn't look very friendly. It doesn't look very nice, but
You have like an old version of it or something, or is it?
Vegas Pro 14, so a
Okay.
little bit older.
Okay, I think I have either 13 or 14. I have 14 also. Okay.
Sweet.
But yeah, I would recommend it. You'll like it after you used to the oldness of it.
Cool. So that's pretty much where we're at. So you started with streaming, and then would you consider yourself more of a YouTuber now these days than a streamer, or what?
Probably. I mean, more people know me from YouTube, that's for sure.
Definitely.
I probably enjoy streaming more just because it's way easier. You don't have to work hard. You just kind of go up and, have a good time, talk with people, play your video game. And, YouTube editing and stuff.
Highly debatable, but okay, I'll take it.
I'm not saying it's like easy, but I'm saying it's less. I don't know what the right word is. But
I think I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
You exert it's less of a mental grind, I feel like, almost than editing day in and day out, because when you're making YouTube videos and you like can't stop, man, it's hard to put it into words, but YouTube editing gets really painful after a while if you're doing it repeatedly.
Right. Okay. The thing about that I could think of is that, well, sometimes when you're streaming on Twitch and there are days where you're just not feeling up to it, you're not having a good day,
Yeah.
and people
Yeah.
expecting you to be, a certain way, and you just don't feel like it, and then people in chat annoying you or something, it just gets really, really difficult. But
Oh yeah, I've had days like that
Yeah.
for streaming too, but
yeah,
days like that I think are more common when you're video editing than when you're streaming. I would say.
emotionally, it gets really tough.
Yeah, that was actually
Trolling.
something. That was something I was going to ask you because I saw on Twitter recently that you're like, I haven't really been feeling YouTube. Or you're like kind of sorry about not making as many videos, but now you're back on the grind. So
Mhm.
when you get in those ways, or like you feel that way, what do you try to power through it, or do you just kind of chill until you feel the motivation?
Well, if I'm not feeling like I want to make videos, then whatever video I end up making is probably not going to be good. So I just
Definitely.
since I don't do YouTube or Twitch as a full-time job or anything, so I just if I don't feel like doing it, I don't do it. And then whenever I feel like it, I get back to it.
So you're also working then?
Yeah, I don't like the idea of YouTube as a full-time gig because it's like unreliable and the whole adpocalypse, whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's wise.
Yeah.
So how many hours would you say go into the average world record progression video? You could guesstimate.
Well, the amount of time has gone up over time. Like the first few, it was probably closer to 20-25 hours for a video.
Mhm.
Nowadays, it's getting more like 50, upwards of 50, probably.
Wow.
At least for the one I'm working on right now. I've put like probably 8 or 10 hours of work into the one I'm doing right now, and I'm not even like a fifth or a sixth of the way through it. So
Dang.
it takes time.
Well, that's good though.
More
So you
professional.
put in more work in.
Hmm.
That's good.
So, do you have a question, Cheese? Were you gonna say something?
I mean, yeah, but once you finish your point, I could ask questions.
Okay. So for the Mario 4 video, you said you only reached out to Cheese really, and now it sounds like you've learned from that. So when you go into like a new game, or do you just go in the old school people and who can tell you things? Like, how do you get your information?
So nowadays, if it's a game I'm really unfamiliar with, like Pokemon, for example, right? I've never even played a Pokemon game in my life, which freaks some people out when I say that.
I haven't either.
But a video I did,
Same.
yeah.
Really? No way.
Yeah. I mean, I've played them after the fact, but never as a kid. I played any of them. Just never got into
Yeah,
it.
5 months ago. I started working on Red and Blue record progression. And the only reason I really did it was because people wanted me to do it, and I knew that it did have a good history. Other than that, I had no interest in Pokemon. So what I did was I took a group of either former world record holders or people who were close to the top of the leaderboard who were willing to help me out. Like I asked them, hey, would you be able to help me with this? Just don't tell anyone that you're helping me with it so that it doesn't come out early. And I put them, we all go into it. I make a Discord server and we all go in there and then talk about it, or whenever I have a question asked and they answer it, I share the script with them, parts of the script, parts of the video, and that continues for however many weeks until I finish it.
Oh, that seems like a pretty good way to do it.
Yeah, but I didn't used to do it like that because I didn't really know what the heck I was doing. I would just go and DM someone a question, or I would just look at the resources that were already out there, which it's probably not good to do it like that because if I do it like that and I don't know anything about the game, I'm gonna inevitably screw stuff up. So
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there was. I remember the comments of the Mario 64 progression video. Unfortunately, there were some comments.
Yeah, by
Yeah.
a certain former speedrunner who
Yeah.
got a little angry.
That's
The thing is, he had like a good point looking back on it, but the thing was the way that he brought it up was like he accused me of like doing it for the money, when in reality I did not make a dime off of YouTube back then.
Yeah,
And
I don't think
didn't
he
for
expected it. I don't
several
think. I don't know if he expected it to be that big in the first place. Anyway.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But the thing is that he has a point when with the comments, but at the same time, you're someone that takes the time, goes out of their way to make these kind of videos to help the community and show this really cool, this cool content. So the fact that you did it is why I love it so much, because you're putting in the work, whereas other people are just sitting behind a computer criticizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still do want to try doing that one over in the future. Try to like give the category the respect that it deserves of like actually getting more information from people and stuff.
Right. Good. Okay, so I have questions. Shit. Dude, I had this question for the entire time Simply was talking, and now I just forgot it. It was such a good one. God damn, dude. I can't remember. I'm just gonna have to think of
Simply
a new
just start
question.
talking again. You'll think of it.
Dude. I have to think of a new
So-
question.
All right, going back to your Twitter, I like to snoop a little bit, like to dig a little bit. Didn't have to dig too deep. Speedrunning Olympics.
Yep.
Oh, that's what it
was,
was. Yeah, that's what it was. It was about the topic that we were talking about. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But before we actually started the podcast, the three of us were actually talking a little bit about the Speedrunning Olympics because I tweeted about it a while ago. And then a couple of guys from the Melee community contacted Simply, and then a few weeks later they contacted me about talking about some sort of either speedrunning league or tournament where you could win money if you do well. So I made this poll on Twitter a few weeks ago to ask people if they'd be interested in some sort of speedrunning Olympics, even if there was no prize for the winner. And 90% of people said that they would still be interested if there was no prize for the winner, which, I mean, any other community, I think, would give you completely different results because speedrunning's never been about money. It's always been about just having fun, competing with friends. Trying for records, sure, but you're not trying for records to win money from it unless you're like Billy Mitchell or someone like that. So it's always been different from most other communities.
I was gonna talk about that. I'm not surprised by those results either, yeah, because ever since the beginning, speedrunners, and especially the old school speedrunners, still feel this way. That they always look at speedrunning as a hobby that we need that they enjoy, and there shouldn't be any money or anything involved. And then they started doing stuff for charity, GDQs, and everything was always about charity. But I believe that it totally should not only be for charity. I think there should be a lot more bigger things that should happen. And this whole tournament, idea and all this stuff, where there are prizes and stuff, I think it's exactly what we need to give more of an oomph, more of a competition vibe, and get it out there. And a lot of people think that it can't happen for speedrunning. People are very, very negative on that. They think, no, it can't be done. It makes no sense. It's not going to work.
Personally, I see both perspectives. I understand why people would be kind of nervous about doing it because a lot of people, I'm sure, think that if we started making tournaments, leagues, that it would just turn into another esports event, which I understand why people would think that, but I don't. Speedrunning, it's so different.
It's not. Speedruns can't be esports.
Different.
It's not. It's its own thing. So
yeah,
this whole thing with esports, people need to forget about that.
And even if you're the type of person who really doesn't want to make money, to make it about the money, then you don't have to participate in the events. You don't have to join the league.
Right, but that's the thing though. It's not like it's about the money. It's just that's an extra thing that they're adding to it.
It's an optional event that you can do if you want to try to get more fun from
people are doing it for fun, and it just happens to be prizes too to make it more interesting. It's not like making about money.
What do you think, Simp?
Dude, Big Simp Invitational. It's already happening, baby. Sports is here. We got $500 on the line for first place.
Those are actually $500. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's just prizes.
All right. So that's a start right there. That's most other tournaments aren't doing that.
I think it's the first tournament that I've heard of. It's that from a speedrun tournament that had a prize.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. I see both perspectives, but there's like a point to be made about people put so much time in, and like we'd like to see it be pushed even further. And you can only grind so hard for no money, right? Because like eventually, you
4
gotta
years
get
of hard
money.
work in a game, and when you reach the top, you kind of feel like, you would like to see something like that happen.
Yeah. So
Well, I
time
mean,
will
to
tell.
be fair though, people are still making money from it. Like
Definitely.
people are making careers out of streaming on Twitch, doing speedruns and stuff. So it's not
Yeah.
like you can't make money from speedrunning now. But it's just, I think that more options to have more fun, do different events, I think would be good.
Yeah.
Agreed. So, may I ask who were the Melee players that brought this up?
Yeah, let me find their names. I have them on Discord somewhere here.
I
Truck,
have.
Jitsu, and Snail6 are their names. These are names.
Oh, okay. I have no clue who they are. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they sound pretty like motivated, I guess. They're doing something for Melee first. They're like trying to implement a league for Melee where it's a subscription. Because the argument is, at least for Melee, that when you're doing tournaments, if you're bad, then you can only play like one game and then you're out, right? Because you just get eliminated. 1 or 2 games. Depends on if it's usually double elimination. So if you're bad, if you're like the worst person, you get 2 games and then you lost your $10 entry fee. But they're like, well, we want people to have more opportunities to play games. So you like subscribe to a service, and then there's league gameplay where you're matched against people of similar skill. And even if you're not beating good players or like the best player in the league, there's like divisions, and the best player of each
That makes a lot of
division
sense.
would get money. And it sounds pretty good. It sounds like something that could definitely work. And they want to do something similar to that for.
They have a lot of that stuff in sports and stuff, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Professional sports are just like that, where there's
Right.
there's like the minor leagues and then the pro level.
I think it could work
surprised-
for speedrunning.
I'm
But-
surprised it hasn't been thought of before. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing about speedrunning is like Melee is obviously huge,
Mm.
right? But for speedrunning, you couldn't
Yeah,
do
but
it.
no. The thing is though that if they were to do that for speedrunning, it would give a lot of the players that aren't so good motivation to be part of it, because tournaments now, a lot of it is like, we kind of have to make the tournaments like the tournament you have going on, the Big Sim Invitational.
Mhm.
You made it so like the top players would up to a certain time would join the tournament, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a reason for doing that, because you would think that players would lower PBs. It wouldn't really make sense having them in. It might be just unfair to them or something. But if they were to have like divisions, then it would make sense. Then they would be motivated to join those. So I think I think it does make a lot of sense.
Well, I think the only thing is like some games. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't have a league for every game. Is the
Right.
thing. It's like, but that's what they were saying. They were wanting to start with like the bigger games and then work their way
Obviously.
down.
If we were to pick like a few games that would work like initially, what do you think they would be?
Well, I think you could literally just go on speedrun.com and like check the top 10 games kind of thing, because it just happens to have the most runners.
Yeah. Right now. Go ahead.
Do you think OOT would work well with all the
Yeah, for
glitches
sure.
and everything that needs to work? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
They have
At the end
OOT
of the day,
races
still
all the time.
skill, running.
Yeah, OOT is like the biggest race game actually in SRL for years, alongside Mario 64.
Yeah. Mario 64 for sure. Mario Odyssey, definitely hot right now.
Yeah.
Celeste is the third.
Sunshine, Super Metroid, all those games.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be cool to see where that goes. Maybe
Super
even
Mario
GDQ
Bros.
could hop on it.
That's true. Super Mario Bros. All the Super Mario Bros. Games. Super Mario World.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mario games in general are just great for races.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Well, what are you working on these days? SummoningSalt? Can you let us
Well,
into the?
I'm working on the next video.
Is it
No.
so it's a Pokemon video, is it?
Pokemon I released 4 or 5 months ago. So
Okay. I thought you
not
okay.
Pokemon. That I was talking about an older video.
All right.
But I usually don't reveal what I'm working on to like
Yeah.
anybody, just because if I say, okay, guys, next video is Ocarina of Time, like people probably get hype about it, but then if I make it and it's not how people were expecting it to be, then they're gonna be
Yeah.
kind of like, well, this was okay,
Right.
and then like forget about it. So I like to
Fair
just
enough.
upload it and then have people get excited to see, oh, cool, it's this game, let me check it out.
That's probably a better way to do it. Definitely.
Yeah.
You see that kind of thing happen in like music, like a music or an artist will tease a song or something like that, and then people get really hype about it, and then sometimes it doesn't live up, and then they get pooped on. So you got to be careful with the reveals. So wise
Mhm.
choice. How about, let's see here. I have so obviously you've got the world record progression game on lock right now. You're killing it. People are loving it. But are there other kinds of videos that you'd like to do? Other ideas you have for speedrunning videos or any kind of YouTube stuff?
Well, have you guys seen the 4-2 video that I made for Super Mario Bros? Where it was very similar to a world record progression video, but a little bit different. It was more focused. It talked more about like the every single little individual trick and every little I completely tried to like break the level down to like every tile of the level.
Right. Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
parts of that
4-2.
video. Yeah.
That video blew up, man.
I learned
I like
4-2, man.
Oh yeah, you do fast forward too now.
No, but in
Okay.
SGDQ 2017, Darwin himself was teaching me 4-2. Took me like an hour to get it once. It was ridiculous.
It's really hard.
Right, but I'm pretty sure the strat changed and stuff now.
For reference, I have a 458 in Super Mario Bros, and I've only ever done 4-2 one time, so it's pretty insanely hard.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, do you do the hardest strat or?
In my runs, I do slow 4-2, which is where you do the 3 bumps instead of the 2.
Okay. Not sure what the bumps mean, but I'll take your word
Yeah,
for it.
The backwards bump. You
Okay.
you remember how I said you're supposed to move
Okay.
Mario
It's like the
some pixels to
backward
the right
jump
of it?
kind of thing.
Yeah, the backwards jump. So
Mhm.
fast forward 2, you're supposed to do only 2 of those, or you
Okay.
can do like the walklet method. But I just do 3 bumps.
All right. Sounds good. And how much slower is it though?
It's 1 frame rule slower,
Okay.
which is 0.35 seconds.
Okay. All right. Not too. Well, I mean, it's pretty bad for Mario Bros. But yeah.
If you're going for record, you pretty much have to do it at this point. But
so
if you're just going for like 457, even you don't need to do it. So
okay. So you also did a Super Mario 64 any percent, or world record progression video. It was like mostly focused on 0-star, wasn't it?
yeah, I talked about. I think I did like every category from 70 to 0.
Right.
And instead of doing like how the 70-star record changed over time, I talked about how the fastest category changed over time. So how it went from like 70 to what was it, like 31 or something.
Yeah,
that was a really good video.
Yeah, glad you liked it.
So
But
would you say that you researched a lot more for that video? Was it kind of the same situation as the 120-star video? How did you go about researching for that video?
By that point, I was asking people more about stuff. You guys know Gothic Logic. I was talking with him a lot, and I forgot to put the guy's name in the video, and I wish I had forgotten to do that, but I threw it in the description.
There you go.
Okay.
That was good. I honestly, for so long, I wondered why there was all these dumb categories like 31, 30, and then it answered all my questions. It was great.
I mean, it makes sense, yeah. I also watched the Super Metroid one. Actually, today I watched the Super Metroid one. I popped in the channel, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I've never been interested in Metroid games. I never liked them, and I never knew anything about Super Metroid. But that video was good. I mean, it got me to understand a lot, and I didn't even know of like how much bosses were in the game. And then watching the video, it was just easy to learn the game by just watching that one video. I learned so much. So like, I mean, it makes sense. This is why people watch your videos, I guess. It was really easy to learn about the entire game by just watching that one video. And I remember times where I would see a game that seems interesting, and I wouldn't know where to look it up or how to find like tutorials or to see how I could like learn about the game. But I watched your one video about Super Metroid, and I was able to learn like the entire game really well from that one video. Really, really well made.
Yeah, you've got some good stuff, Summoning Salt. Gotta say, well worth the views that it has. I feel like they should have. So you say that you have a script. Do you write the script and then you record? Like, how do you go about what you're actually going to say?
Oh, oh no!
Did he disconnect?
He left call. He got pissed.
I sucked on his knob a little too hard.
Oh shit! Okay.
Oh, he's back.
Right,
Welcome
he's
back,
back.
baby.
Hello?
Salty bone. Salt.
Oops.
We need to summon the salt.
I think this is time for your sunglasses.
Oh.
A little intermission period.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So my name is Simply.
Yo, am I back? Are we in?
What's up,
Welcome
man?
back.
Yeah.
Okay. My internet might die. Hang on, give me a second.
Sure. All right.
Oh god. Oh, hello.
Hello.
All right. I think we're good now.
Okay.
Sorry about that. My internet sometimes goes down.
It's alright,
Were you,
bro.
were you able to catch my question at all, or nah?
Now I missed it.
Did you even hear what I said?
I don't remember.
God damn. I was talking about the Super Metroid video that I watched that one today, actually, earlier.
Oh,
And
nice.
That I was saying that, like, I don't know anything about Metroid games. I never was into them. But there've been times in the past where I would see a game that seems interesting, like at a GDQ, and I'll try to look at, find a way to learn the game, find tutorials. And it was really difficult, but like, I didn't know anything about Super Metroid, and I saw your one video, and I was able to learn like the entire game. I learned so much from just that one video. So it just shows, it goes to show why their videos are so popular. I guess it's what we need.
Cool.
I think stuff like that.
Cool. Glad that you're able to learn so much from
Yeah,
them.
dude.
I mean, when I look back on what I still remember from making that video, I mean, I remember that the route changed.
Yeah.
That's about it off the top of my head. I barely even remember anything. I have to have kind of a short memory with these things because I need to learn a
Yeah, you learn
lot
so much,
about
yeah.
one game and then completely forget about it and move on to the next one.
It makes sense.
Especially
Oh.
Robotic salt.
Yeah, you turned into a robot there. You good? Hello?
Oh god.
Oh, okay.
Goodbye,
So,
salt.
like I was
Love
saying, my name is Simply. So,
What else, Simply? Tell me about you.
well, okay. So, all right.
Where are the other classes, man?
So, typically, when I make world record progression videos, I like to, and then after I do that, I typically go for after that, then what I do, hold on. Well, SummoningSalt is RIP.
No, I'm
RIP.
here.
Oh,
I was
back.
just listening to what you had to say.
oh, I thought you died.
I wanted to hear it, but I think I fixed it.
I don't
so.
think he had anything to say. He was just
Dude,
improvising.
I was looking forward to it.
We were both sweating a bit, running out of
I said-
ideas.
I said what I had to say. I got my points across.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I have a couple of questions for you, SummoningSalt.
All right.
Favorite part of the process?
favorite part of the process does uploading the video and seeing people's comments right after I upload. Does that count as a part of the process?
Yeah.
Or?
I mean,
Definitely.
it is, yeah, I guess.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's the fun part. Seeing, the uploading part is always the fun part.
The end result.
Yeah. Just,
Yeah.
especially if it goes viral like the 4-2 video did. That's the only video I've had that's really gone like super viral because it was like on trending for a while.
You know, it's
crazy.
kind of surprising that was a video that went viral, because you would think that most of the public out there wouldn't know what 4-2 means. You know, they would be more affiliated with a title like Super Mario Bros. 90% for record progression in general.
Yeah.
Well, I think I know why it did, and I think so. Easyscape's in the chat right now, and he knows more about this than I do. But the YouTube algorithm is like
It's very
so
specific. Yeah.
It's so freaking important to if your video does well or not. And if you put something in the title that makes people interested in what could possibly be in the video, like world record progression, whatever the game may be, like, speedrunners will be interested in that. Someone who doesn't know anything about speedrunning, you might not even know what it's about. World record progression, like what does that even mean? If you see a video with a title like the history of Super Mario's most infamous level or whatever it was, with a thumbnail of Mario jumping and the word infamous or whatever, it's not, I don't think it's clickbait, but it's people who may not normally be interested in speedrunning will at least want to check out and see what it is. And a lot of people comment saying, "Hey, I had no idea what this was, but I really enjoyed it." So I'm glad that I clicked on it. So
yeah.
What is how do you think it got into trending section?
I think YouTube hand selects them. It's not like if it gets this amount of views in this amount of time, it automatically goes in the trending section. It's more if someone at YouTube watches it and likes it and it gains traction, then they'll put it in the trending section.
So
as weird as that sounds,
is that why people always ask for likes on their videos? I always wondered what likes do on YouTube videos. What are the points for likes?
Yeah, it probably helps with something. I don't know. I don't like to ask for likes or stuff like that because it's cheap, man. It's cheap.
Yeah, that's cheap. That's sellout. You should never do
That's
that.
some fake stuff right there. Let it happen
Totally fake.
organically.
Yeah.
Make it real.
Exactly.
Yeah, shout out to Easyscape in the chat. The curious factor, if you're making YouTube videos, that is like it's so simple, but at the same time it's like
Yeah, I remember
really
that.
good idea.
It makes
Because
sense.
that title is really good. That title is like, wow, I need to click it. Click that shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Because before then, like every single title I'd ever done was the same, and the only thing that was different was what the game was. And the more popular games, obviously, people did click on them more and they got more views, but there was always like a cap because only a certain amount of people would want to click on a video called world record progression. So
it's true. I mean, I get clickbait all the time. There are many videos I see with a good title. I'm like, ooh, let's check this out.
Yeah.
But again, it's not always about the clickbait, because if it has like a clickbaity type of title, but the title matches the video, then it's not really clickbait. It's the truth. It's still what the video is about. So that's when you know that that person's really good in his.
This is going
choice.
off topic a bit, but have you heard of this guy YouTube channel called Brave Wilderness?
Absolutely.
I have.
Yeah. People say that he's like the least clickbaiting YouTuber out there because he puts these incredible things in his thumbnail, like snapping turtle bites my arm, or like bitten by the most painful insect. But then you watch the video and that's literally exactly what happens.
Wow.
He completely delivers on everything that he puts in his titles and his thumbnails. So that's the way to do it.
Wait a minute. I think I was watching that guy's videos really recently. Let me check him.
He's insane. He's one of the craziest.
That is,
I've ever seen.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
This is I was watching his videos recently. Dung beetle. Ew. I hate dung beetles.
One bite can kill you.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, there's a few where he goes a little over the top with it, but for the most part.
I actually there were a few videos where I really was convinced that some of it just seemed a bit fake. I don't know. Because it
Some
seems
of the
like
bite ones.
yeah, a
It's
lot.
like
There were a lot of videos with the bite ones because I saw so much of them, and it just so happened that he would get bit from the insect, like at the exact, like he would put the insect on his skin, and after like 4 seconds it would bite him. But like every single video was like exactly at 4 seconds after he put it on, it would bite him. You know, it was like it was the same for every bite, and I'm just like, it just seems just really planned. I don't know. I don't know.
not all of them were
But-
like that. There were a few he had to like put it on him, and then he would like have to take it off because it wasn't biting him, and then put it on in some different way to
Right.
force it to bite.
Yeah, there was some of that you could see that it was like stuck on him. But either way, that guy is crazy. Yeah, I've seen his videos. It's pretty.
It's a fun channel.
Definitely.
But yeah, tying that into speedrunning content. There's a reason why that guy is so huge on YouTube, and it's because he puts stuff in his titles and thumbnails that makes people want to watch it without having it be complete clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the more popular videos that I have were ones like 4-2.
So, do you think it's worth, like, if you come out with a world record progression video, is it worth renaming it to like something that's still relevant but more curious factor? Is that something that you try to come up with, or do you typically just go for? I mean, obviously, so far you've just gone for world record progression on a lot of them.
Yeah, I've been thinking about changing it up, but I don't. I mean, I could do something like the history of blank world record, but at this point, now that I'm kind of established as a YouTuber, people are used to seeing people know of the world record progression series instead of like Easyscape saying in the chat, series should stick to a format. I don't think changing it at this point would be a good idea. Now that I've already established it as world record progression.
Fair enough. Yeah, because people will be Googling it or looking up world record progression. So if you don't have that in there, then you might by chance.
Yep.
Sick. What about down the line? Where do you see yourself? SummoningSalt? Do you hope to still be going hard on YouTube, streaming on Twitch?
I mean, I probably enjoy streaming on Twitch more. Just I don't know. It's more accessible to do almost.
Yeah.
But I'm at least going to keep doing YouTube for a while. It's nothing I want to make a career out of or anything, but it's fun to do for now at least, because it's fun, man. I mean, there's a lot of people who like watching them, so I want to keep going for a while at least.
So do you think that do you have future plans for your Twitch channel? In terms like what you want, like if what you want to stream, or do you just want to continue streaming Punch Out for a long time, or do you have other games in mind?
Whatever I feel like doing. It's gonna change. I can't really set a layout for what I'm gonna do in the future, because I'm just gonna change my mind eventually anyway. So
Okay.
Yeah.
but yeah, right now it's Punch Out just because I'm having fun with it.
That's great.
Cool.
Oh, I see that you I've seen past broadcasts. You actually went for Mario 64 in one of your recent streams.
Yeah, I
15.
have like a half-hour PB for 16 star.
Essence for sub 30. Pretty good.
Yep, I need to get it, man. I need to get it.
It's a pretty impressive time, but I believe that you can do it.
I do like 3 slide stars and a bunch of stuff that confuses people, but in reality, they're like the only 16 stars that I know how to get, so I
Right.
don't have much of a choice right now.
That's okay. 16 stars, okay.
It's just fun. I'm not trying to get any sort of decent time. It's just fun to mess with it. It's a fun category.
Yeah, it's the easiest and most fun category to just be able to pick up and do in a day.
Yeah.
How about outside of the whole internet world, SummoningSalt? What do you find yourself doing? Hobbies?
Just I like to collect stuff, which it's another kind of nerdy thing. But when I was young, especially, I was like a big coin collector, and to this day, I still sort of do that. It's a weird hobby. Like, not many people collect coins anymore.
Actually, my roommate that's living with us right now, she actually has that. She's a coin collector too.
That's cool.
Do you have like a nice little thing to keep them in? I know you can get like those sleeves.
Yeah, I
Big
have a bunch of those
things.
little booklets with all the coins in them, and then I just have a jar of old pennies from like 100 years ago too.
Oh
They
wow,
don't fit in the books.
Damn.
nice.
So let me. Okay, so do you live? Wait, where do you live? If I may ask.
California.
Ooh.
Cali.
Do you live alone?
No. I don't want to get like too specific into this sort of stuff if you don't mind. But,
No, no problem. It's okay.
Yeah.
No biggie.
Okay. How much
Cool.
is pennies worth? Yeah, I'm actually interested. Like, would you know, like, if you were to sell like your entire coin collection, how much that stuff would be worth? Or if it even would be worth anything? How does that
Well,
work?
I mean, if we're going just off of like I have a bunch of quarters, pennies, all that good stuff, right? If I were to sell those all for a quarter, it would at least be worth, I'm sure, close to $100 based off of that alone. But of course, the ones that are older are gonna get you. If you have a penny from 100 years ago, you could probably sell one for at least a nickel. So
Ooh.
it's hard to put an exact value on the whole collection. I don't have like some huge collection or anything. It's just like a little thing that I did, but probably at least few $100.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
It's like speedrunning where I don't really do it for the money. I just do it 'cause it's fun.
right. I think everyone starts off like that, but then
Yeah.
if you get big, it's like, okay, well, I guess this is what I do now.
hmm
Sweet. Well, do you have any other questions, Cheese?
Do you ever think you'll come to a GDQ or anything like that?
Oh yeah.
So I was planning to come to this SGDQ, but I don't think it's going to be happening, unfortunately.
Aw, man.
Like I wanted to go,
Whoa.
but I don't think it's going to be happening.
Did you register or?
I did.
Oh man, he's already
Yeah,
registered.
even when I
You might as well just come.
registered, I knew I probably wasn't going to be able to go, but I just
Oh.
thought, if I am able to, I might as well be registered. But
Okay.
yeah, probably not going to be happening. Next year, though, I hope to go.
Okay, good. That's awesome.
Cool.
How did you find out about speedrun? Yeah, I think you actually answered that question earlier, River. When you
Yeah, it's
introduced.
just finding stuff on YouTube.
Yeah. Like most
you know,
people.
all those old speedruns. And then when I watched AGDQ 2014, that was the one that came out like immediately after I started watching speedruns. So that kind of helped me get hooked into it.
Dude, GDQ has done so much.
Yeah.
Those videos all get so many views. I wonder how many people have come through from Games Done Quick events.
Yeah, it's
Gotta be a
so
lot.
many. Close,
most people have.
Close to half the community, I would say, at least.
Definitely possible.
Ow. Why are there what faces in chat? Did something
What
happen?
happened?
I don't know.
I don't
Did
know.
I tap the microphone? I didn't realize.
I didn't hear anything.
Me neither. We just got some babies in this chat.
Must be.
Oh yeah, that was a sound.
Bloody ow.
It's
What happened?
Someone mentioned in the chat Zallard's blindfolded run of Super Punch Out, and to go along with that, right before he did that run, there was Sinister's blindfolded run of Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Right.
And,
That's what I wanted to mention that, yeah.
Yeah, those runs were so fun to watch back then, and that kind of helped me get into Punch Out too. So
I've seen, that was the first blindfolded speed run I've ever watched. Was his blindfold run? I can't remember what year it was at GDQ, but when I saw that video, I couldn't mentally, I couldn't believe that he did that.
yeah,
It opened my mind up so hard. It was so motivational watching Sinister do a blindfolded run of that. It made me realize that people in this community really know these games to a point where it's actually ridiculous.
the whole story behind his blindfolded runs. So
I'm
he
sure there
did
is,
a
yeah.
blindfolded run at 2012, 2013, 2014. And each year he kind of made it further than the last. 2012 he lost halfway through the game. 2013 he made it one fighter further and then lost. And he didn't practice for either of those runs. He kind of just winged it.
Really?
And 2014, we were talking about. He was talking about this on a stream one time, and he said what he did for 2014 was he practiced the heck out of blindfolded, but he intentionally didn't do it on stream a single time. So he didn't want anybody to know that he was actually gonna like beat the whole game, other than Tyson at the event. So he was just doing regular runs on his stream, and then offline he would go and practice the whole game blindfolded a lot. And then he'd show up to the event, and people would ask him, "Hey, how far do you think you're gonna make it this year?" And he'd just go, we'll see what happens." And then he went up there and beat the whole game just about. Everyone
awesome.
freaked out.
So how does it that game work? Is like if you die at a certain point, that's it. The game over.
If you lose to a fighter, there's a few fights where you get sent back, but usually if you lose, you get to rematch them again, and then if you lose a second time, you get sent back a fight or two, and then if you lose a third time, then it's game over.
Okay.
Other than Mike Tyson, if you lose to Tyson at all, then it's just game over.
Oh, all right.
Real quick too, shoutouts to MPAP. I know he was in the chat a minute ago, but he holds the current blindfolded world record for Punch Out, just over 20 minutes.
So blindfold has become like a regular kind of category.
It's a category on speedrun.com.
Wow, that's crazy.
And the non-blindfolded record, so Punch Out's timed with the in-game timer, but for RTA, the record for blindfolded is like a little over 20 minutes, and the non-blindfolded record is 18 and a half minutes. So doing the game blindfolded, he was able to do it only adding like 2 minutes onto the whole time, which is kind of incredible
That is
to think about.
That's pretty crazy.
That's
Have you done a blindfolded run?
Yeah, I've beaten the game blindfolded before, but I've never done it like seriously for speed strats or anything.
Okay. I tried in blindfolded Mario 64 once.
It's gotta be so hard to do.
I couldn't even get into the castle for the first 10 minutes. Far less doing the game.
There's some games where it's like impossible to do it, and that would probably be one of them.
It really is, because of the whole I don't know. OT has a lot of sound cues and stuff like that and setups, but Mario 64 does none of that. So it's almost impossible. Although there was a video I saw of, I can't remember who it was, but somebody did bomb clip blindfolded, and he made a strat for it where he would do a certain amount of long jumps, land right on the bomb, grab it, and then he did it so well, and it was so well thought out, and he did it, and I was like, wow, this has potential. I mean, that one star probably took him like days, but if someone was to do blindfolded 70 star or something, that would be a good day. That would be a huge motivation spark for sure.
I can't even imagine that ever happening.
I can't either.
Mario 64.
It's a little too crazy. Thank you, Chad the GG with the sub. Welcome to the fridge, Bob.
Welcome to the prime fridge.
The prime fridge. Yeah, dude. Bubsy did 16 star blindfolded. Really? I don't even know who that is. I need to see that.
It's like an hour or something, if I remember
can you even
right.
do that?
An hour? Only an hour? What?
Dude, once you get the strats, like you just need to. I think you need to work with the game without a blindfold, and then figure out.
Well, yeah, of course.
3 hours 11 minutes is the one I found.
Oh.
For 16 star, I'm guessing.
Yes, 16 star.
Okay. That's crazy.
How do you even do that, though?
I don't know. I mean, dude, hard work, you could do anything.
Well, 3 hours, I'm sure he probably obviously he had it all set up beforehand, but with that time, I'm sure he messed up a bunch and just had to keep retrying his strats. Like, The thing that's so weird about Mario is the camera will move on its own. Like, the nice thing about OOT is that the camera kind of stays in the same direction, and then you have Z targeting and stuff. But with Mario, it just kind of moves how it pleases. You need to know how it moves, otherwise you get bobbed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
OOT is much more blocky. The game works in a more of like mathematical way. Whereas Mario 64 is very free for all.
I agree. Cool. Well, I don't have any more questions. Do you have any more, Chief?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure something would pop up soon. But if you want, we could pop into Q&A.
Yeah.
And then questions would pop up and we would get asking. So, people in chat, if you want to post your questions, you could post it in chat. But if you want to make sure and get your question read out, I suggest you post the questions on the Discord that Simply is about to post in chat. I hope.
think, is that the command? Yeah.
Yep. It's
Two
the
Dads
set-
podcast,
right.
Discord. Just makes it easier to see
wow.
them, puts them all in a line. There's a questions channel in the Discord.
You just post the questions there and it will get read out.
So Discord for the podcast. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, baby.
You can join up here.
Yeah, baby. So if you want, you can just pick questions that you see Summoning Salt, or we can. You typically will just
Okay.
pick them and then ask them to you.
First question of the day. Salt, would you ever get the phase 3 uppercut on Tyson?
Whatever
boy.
that means.
Yeah,
If you guys
whatever.
my first record progression video is about Tyson, and I talked about this thing called the phase 3 uppercut. That whole fight, you're just doing frame perfect punches, and if you get all of them in a row and you do all your dodges really tightly and get like 1 in 1,000 luck, then you might be able to get a phase 3 uppercut. I don't know if it's ever gonna happen.
That's pretty
It
great.
could eventually.
So how come it's such a low chance? Why is it so hard to get?
I'm trying to think what's a simple way to break it down. So Tyson can do a delay on after almost any punch, and the odds in him doing a delay, it's usually either 50% or 25%, and he
Okay.
has, I'm gonna say, 10 or 12 opportunities to do a delay throughout phase 1 and phase 2. Like phase 1 is like hitting him until he goes down once, and phase 2 is hitting him until he goes down twice.
Mhm.
If he does a single delay that whole time, then you cannot get the phase 3 uppercut. If you miss a single frame perfect punch, the game runs at 60 frames per second, and you need to hit 20 frame perfect hits or 21 frame perfect hits. If you miss any of those, then you're not going to get the phase 3 uppercut. And you need to also do really tight dodging on Tyson, where like as soon as his punch is thrown, like you need to be completely like undodged. It's kind of hard to explain without seeing it, but
Yeah.
there's like so many precise things that need to go into it.
Okay.
It makes it more fun.
So basically never.
It could happen. I've been really close before, but I haven't quite got.
Cool.
This is a good question from Punkay. I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So are you wearing a diaper?
I am not.
Damn.
I hate to break it to you guys. But,
It's okay. It's okay.
yeah,
Someday that question.
you're expecting a more.
I mean,
Exciting answer
I
there.
never stream without my diaper. I don't know about you. But
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mine is securely strapped on right
All
now.
the time. Okay, No Guy 5 asks, alright, Summoning Salt. Serious business. What conditions must a game fulfill for it to be a world record progression worthy?
Well, I don't have like a list of criteria. I don't have like a checklist that's hanging somewhere where I have to like compare it to see
Damn it.
if it fulfills everything.
Is it
It's
kind of
more
like
just
a game that just interests you, really?
it has to have a good history. That's the main thing. And I if there's a game that's really popular, like it's a good example. Some people like they always ask me to do a game. They're like, "Oh, you gotta do Doom, man. Doom's a big, really popular speedrunning game. You gotta do it." And at first glance, you think, "Yeah, Doom's probably really good," but Doom, I know, is made up of a bunch of individual levels instead of like a full game run. So if I was to do Doom, I'd have to pick one level and just talk about that the whole time. And I know basically nothing about Doom. I don't know how it works at all. And I don't know if there would be enough there to make a whole video about a single level of Doom. So there needs to be enough there, and it needs to be a semi-popular game, unless it's particularly interesting. Maybe I can make it work.
Makes sense. Good answer.
Will we ever see? I know you already touched on this, so yeah. But will we ever see a remake of the 120-star video since it's outdated and you've said you aren't happy with the beginning of the current one?
Yeah, I'll get to it eventually, probably.
Sweet.
It's,
Also,
don't you guys agree, like both of you, since you know a lot about 120 star, that like I should have, different things should have been like talked about. I should have talked more
Yeah,
about strategies of
I agree.
change. And,
It's just that it's just such a huge game with so much years of history. So it would be so difficult to get everything right, you know? And
Yeah.
the fact that you know, I don't know, for me it's just the fact that you put yourself out there and you put the time to make that video, period. For me was a great thing and a huge success. And if you watch the video, you still get a huge, you know, gif
Bone.
of the history, you know? And it's more than enough for even me to go like, wow, this is really cool, you know? And yeah, I realized that there were stuff that you left out or mistakes and stuff, but dude, yeah, you know.
Yeah. I honestly don't even remember. Like, when I watched it, I was like, wow, that was. So I might need to run it back and see what was missing or what all the hubbub is about.
Yeah, I had the same reaction.
Keemstar liked it because Keemstar tweeted it out, so at least
Hey.
I have that going for that video.
That's dope. What
Yeah,
kind of
that
salt
was-
do you summon?
Kind of salt that I summoned. Well, what was the salt that Ashton's had in that video? Seasoning, right? Isn't that what he said? I guess that would be it.
What was that?
All right.
Well, where I got my username from is Ashton's
Oh,
saying
right.
seasoning salt. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I see, Alaris. Okay. Will you ever speedrun Super Punch Out? Asks Doug.
I have a tied world record for Gabby J, which is the first fight in that game. But other than that, I'm probably not gonna speedrun it. It's not as good as Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Okay.
It's inferior.
All right. River _ question for Salt. Progression videos is in a way or are in a way an explanation of what the important tricks are. So in a way, what do you learn the history of a game? What? Yeah, I don't understand. All right, English is hard.
Question.
Yeah, you can read it out better.
Wait, where was this question? Is it in the chat or is it in Discord?
Yeah, it's in the
It's in the
chat near to the end. Progression videos is in a way an explanation of what the important tricks are. So in a way, do you learn the
Okay.
history of a game only if you're interested in it?
Interested. So, do I learn the history of a game if I'm interested in it? Only if I'm interested in it.
Hmm.
I usually don't do games that I'm not interested in,
Mhm.
except, Pokemon. I obviously did. If it's a big enough game, I'm gonna just do a video on it probably eventually, and I'll fight my way through it and try to do a good job with it.
So you just decided to do Pokemon because you thought, it was a game that people would be interested in.
And also, it was time that I learned a thing or two about Pokemon. I'd gone so many years without playing it, so it was good
Okay.
to at least know how the game works.
All right. Shoutouts to Simply's fam.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard that. The dog. We got a new puppy in the.
Oh, you gotta show.
Was that your birthday gift?
Yeah, no. That'd
You
be
gotta,
dope.
you gotta show me the.
That'd be
Well,
good.
I'll hopefully see him in a month.
Yeah.
All right. Casey in Discord, he asked, or she, Salt, which World Record progression video was the most fun or interesting to learn about and present?
All right, so presenting, I think learning about and presenting are two different questions. So presenting, I think it would be 4-2, just because I felt like I had a lot of freedom to do what I wanted with that one, since I already knew almost everything I needed to know. So I could just spend 20 minutes talking about this one really small.
You had more comfort. Okay.
Learning about, that's a little more difficult. I enjoyed learning about Pokemon in a way. It was also kind of annoying because I had to learn so much, but it was fun. Donkey Kong 64 was another fun one because there's a lot that goes into that game. That's for sure. There's a lot of tricks, a lot of
That game is
going through
crazy,
walls and stuff.
That game came a long way.
I'd probably say either Donkey Kong 64 or Pokemon.
Okay.
Doug also asks, what do you think of a 16-star video, considering the crazy history as well as the new crazy world record?
Well, I've already done a video on that talked a bit about 16 star. I talked a little bit about all the categories in that one instead of focusing on one in particular. I might go back eventually and do a 16-star one, but if I do, it's probably not going to be for a while.
Okay. Getting some aggression from Punke. Doesn't want it.
Jeez,
Typical memes by Punke. I expected that one. Doesn't like 16-star.
What's the problem with 16 stars? Is it like
It's just a meme, you know. We'd say. I mean, it's typical that 120-star runners don't like 16-star, and vice versa, because it's just always been that way. We're not sure, you know. For example,
We got the best analysts.
Yeah,
trying to
Zaya,
but no
like
one's able to quite pinpoint the reason.
for example, people like Zaya. Zaya does not like 120-star at all because he hates the swimming levels. He finds it really boring. He doesn't like the length. And I don't like 16-star because I don't like that it's so short. I like the idea of the more content, the better, you know?
Yeah.
So
are there any like overlapping 120 and 16-star runners?
No. I mean, as far as I could think, I don't think so.
That's
That
crazy.
like if you bring out the top like 30 120-star runners, I think most of them like don't ever do 16-star.
Yeah. We're pretty dedicated in the 120 department. You know how it is. There is, however, a pretty good overlap from 70 and 16. I think
Yeah,
people who
more so.
do 16 and people who do 16 will do 70.
Not that much, but there's a few. Like
Zaya does 70, right?
yeah, Zaya,
A little bit.
Ouija, who has the current 16-star world record.
Drozdowski.
Godzowski.
Drozdowski's on his 0-star though right now.
Yeah.
Yep, Benny.
Oh, Benny, yeah.
Of course.
Good old Benny.
Totally forgot about Benny. I don't even know if he's playing Mario right now.
He is. He just moved. I don't know when he moved, but apparently he's in California now.
Right.
So that's cool. I think that's what he's been dealing with. I was just talking to him on Discord. He said it's way too hot, and he can't even play during the day. His hands just get soaked.
Yeah.
So I was like, get a fan, bro.
Or
That's
AC.
what you need.
Joe. How do you pronounce his name? Joe Rainreb?
Oh yeah, Joe. Yeah, he's from. I know him. Joe Rainreb.
Oh, okay.
He's
Yeah.
fan.
He said hi earlier. Like it looked like he knew who he was. So not
I
surprised.
prefer to do progression videos for games that require more technique and skill, or games that are so broken the mechanics and physics provide more interesting history. In general, probably the latter. Mainly just because I can. There's less to explain for one thing. If I can just say, look, it got broken because they could do this, and then they can do that, and it got more broken. Whereas if it's just technique and skill, it's sometimes hard to explain that in a way that's interesting. If it's just like, well, their movement got better here, and then they were able to do this faster by doing this new, whatever it may be. Like, it's good if there's a mix of both, but if a category really gets broken, then that I think makes for a more interesting story.
Yeah, definitely. And then, like, I don't know. I think it's more interesting. Like for the Donkey Kong 64 video, I was shocked. Like when I saw it, because I didn't even know what the actual time was, so I was like, "Wow, I wonder how low this is going to go." And it was just hours and hours. And it's a lot cooler. Or it just seems like it's more interesting or more wild when it's chopping hours down.
Yeah, and I mean the fact that they did a lot of that too. They went from 6 hours to like 2 hours over the course of a weekend in 2009. So that was a pretty fun part.
Which world record progression video took the longest to make and why? Asks Zach of the Axes.
I think Pokemon took the longest in terms of total hours spent working on it. Because, yeah, like I said before, but it just there's so much to freaking learn about that game if you've never played a Pokemon.
Yeah.
And like I still screwed basic stuff up in that video, so I did my best.
Rip.
The only Pokemon game I ever played as a child was Pokemon Stadium.
That was N64, right?
Yeah,
that was
of course.
The console. Yeah.
Best console ever. Other than that, I have no experience with Pokemon.
Borad's asked where you got your name from, if you want to reiterate that story.
Yeah, let me find the video and the time mark to it.
There we go. That's a good idea.
I have a command of that in my chat, so I can get it real quick.
Sweet.
There. All right, there it is.
Oh, to post it on the Discord call, and I could post it in chat.
I just put it in chat.
Yeah.
Oh, does it not work? Oh,
no, it doesn't.
Sorry.
It's okay, Han.
Just gonna put it in the general thing for the podcast Discord.
Simply, you can't even post it.
No, I just put stars down. Hustily asks, SummoningSalt, with getting so many requests for world record progression videos, how do you know which ones to consider for videos?
Well, a lot of people like to do is they just suggest whatever their favorite game is without having any idea, like if there's any speedrunning scene behind it or if there's been any change in the records. So there's some I'm able to rule out like really fast that I just like ignore.
Call of Duty.
Right. Well, not many people actually suggest Call of Duty, to be fair, but yeah, a lot of them I just rule out right away. Some of them, if I look into them, I'll at least like put it on the back burner, have it somewhere in the back of my mind. I can consider it, or I write it down somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
What's this? Squidbird asks, "What's a speed game that you enjoy watching doesn't have a large community or following?" How about Mike Tyson's Punch Out? Because there's only like 20 runners for that game.
Yeah.
Right.
Not many people know about it, but I think it's super fun.
So, you didn't send me the link, did you?
It's in Discord.
The
It's
general
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I could like send it right to you directly to you if you want.
Okay.
Here, I got you, cheese.
The actual Discord. Okay, I thought you were gonna send it on the
Sorry,
call.
I thought that's what you meant.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh, that's a good question, Doug. What are some that you've ruled out?
There's some that I've rolled out. Let's see. Man, it's tough to think of some off the top of my head. Here, let me see what people have suggested in my Discord server and see if I could rule any of those out. Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest. I'm generally not a big fan of RPGs, and I could be completely wrong, but I'm guessing that runs that are like 6 or 7 hours long wouldn't make for the best progression video.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you're probably not going to see Final Fantasy on my channel or anything like that. Here, someone said NES Ghostbusters. Probably not the most likely game.
I saw that you made a video as an April Fool's. I thought that
Cash
was
Dash,
interesting.
right?
Yeah. What is that game?
What's Cash Dash? What isn't Cash Dash? It's this little plug and play thing. I don't know if you've seen them before, but it's like a console that has one game on it that you plug right into your TV, and the controller's like built into it. And it has, this one actually had a few games on it, but it had one game called Cash Dash, and it's a SpongeBob game. It has like all the SpongeBob characters, and it's essentially a board game, but it's the most bland board game that you can imagine, because literally all you do is you go around to like different places and then go back to the start, and then that's the end of the game. There's not much that really happens. You don't fight anything. You just move around the board.
Why is it called Cash Dash?
Because I think you're supposed to, you pick up money along the way, except the money has nothing to do with who wins. It's whoever gets back first wins. So I don't know what the point of the money is, but for whatever reason, they put it in the
Good game. I can't wait to play that.
Yeah. They're cheap on eBay. It's like a $5, $10 thing on eBay.
Wow.
So, but yeah, I'd had that in a closet, and I hadn't played it. Like, maybe I played it once or twice when I was young, but I don't remember ever playing the freaking thing ever. And I just found it one day, and I think I got it at like a garage sale at one point, and I never played it. I think that's what it was. But anyway, I found it in my cabinet. I'm like, all right, let's check this out. And I looked for like the least interesting game on there, and it was Cash Dash. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to either speedrun this or I'm going to make a video about it, or both. And I ended up doing both. So, yeah.
So do you like speedrunning it? Is that like a meme, or are you actually serious about cash
Um,
dash?
it's less of a meme. Well, it's a meme, but it's kind of a fun meme to play because you actually there's a little more strategy that goes into it than you'd think because you kind of have to map out all your moves ahead of time and like really quickly glance to see where you are, like where all your spaces are you need to go to because it's not the same every time. Um, there's this thing called fanfare skip, which is an actual technique that I figured out. Even though it's a board game, like you'd think there wouldn't be anything you could do, but there's like some combination where you press the buttons in a certain way and it skips like part of the fanfare that plays, which saves some time. So I've done like a couple hundred runs of it. It's like a 2 minute game.
Couple
so
hundred,
it's
wow.
not like I spent a ton of
Oh,
time.
2 minutes, okay. That actually brings me to the next question. Actually, Marley asked in chat, "What's a super underrated speedrun in your opinion? Like a run that's super impressive or fun that people don't know about?" What about
Am
cash
I allowed
dash?
to say Mike Tyson's punch out again? Instead?
Yes.
Sure.
Mike Tyson's punch out.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fun. No one knows about it other than the blindfold stuff.
I mean, I think I know. I mean, it's been in GDQs a lot, and it was a super
Mhm.
popular run from Sinister. I just don't think people play the game, but they probably know about it.
I actually submitted a different type of punch out to SGDQ and it got rejected, but it was
No.
called 2 players, 1 controller, pro plus noob. And it was going to be me controlling the D-pad and then somebody from the crowd who had never played the game before pressing the A and B buttons, which controls like the punching. So I'm controlling the dodging, they're controlling the punching, and I'm basically going to coach us through the game like live. And I'm saying, okay, I'm dodging, and it's okay, hit him twice, and we'll do it twice. And I've done it before with friends who've never played the game, and we get through the game, but it gets like super dicey and super sketchy, and we like barely beat a lot of the people.
Sounds like
But
fun.
it ends up being fun, yeah. But they didn't like it, so got rejected.
Oh man.
No. Maybe someday. Keep submitting that. That's something that sounds pretty good, actually.
Well, yeah, it was like a new thing that hadn't been in a GDQ, so I thought it might be fun.
Exactly. I would like to know why my AC is not working. This is really bad.
Thank you, Sir McSniper. Are you embarrassed by the amount of time you've put into cash dash? Asks Doug.
Definitely not.
That's why
I'm embarrassed I haven't put more time into it.
Gotta get on the grind, man. Make it a little more, get the community growing. We can maybe get a league for cash dash.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the first games.
Probably.
Get up those melee guys. I actually opened up the back of it recently, the back of the console controller thing, and there's battery acid all over it, so I need to clean that
God.
out before I play it again.
What does that even look like?
There's
Is it
just
like the white stuff?
powder all
Yeah,
over it.
it's the white powder.
Huh.
So getting over it, record progression. When is that happening?
I've never even seen that game. I've seen the title of it, but I've never like actually watched it.
Oh
It's
my
so
God,
good.
dude.
It's crazy.
You gotta play it. You don't even watch it. You should
Okay.
give it a shot.
It's a
like
1
it's like
minute
$10
speed run. It's a 1 minute
or
speed
something.
run.
It is very fun. It's very fun. It's a good stream game. I think it's a really good.
It's actually gonna be GDQ. The run got accepted for a 1 minute and a half speed run.
You check out the
GDQ.
leaderboard for it. Wow, so it's a minute and a half long, but the guy with the record is 2 seconds ahead of second place.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, because it's pretty new.
Yeah.
The game is not even a year old, I don't think, or about
2017. It says.
that. Right. Okay. Mystery Man asks, I think we kind of touched on it, but I guess we could elaborate more on it. What do you think your main goals for speedrunning and or YouTube are at the moment?
Just to have fun and keep doing it.
Do you
I don't
think
have
you
any
wanna? Okay. Do you think you wanna? Are you trying to find a different career now, or are you just like settle as on YouTube and Twitch as like your main living, I guess, for a while?
Oh well, I'm not doing them as a full-time job or anything. I just I make a little money from them, but I'm just kind of doing them in the background.
Okay. Do you study or anything?
I never want to do Twitch full time. I never want to do YouTube because they're dicey.
It definitely can be.
Yeah.
can be a little bit like those times where you don't feel like doing anything, but then at the
Right.
same time you're like, well, I kind of gotta, live.
Yeah. So do you have any, if you don't mind me asking, plans right now in terms of like careers and stuff like that?
Any plans in terms of career?
Like, are you studying something or?
Nothing. I don't want to like change what I'm doing, I guess is the best way I can answer that. And I don't want to. I don't want to do YouTube or Twitch. Basically, that's the main thing. I want to just keep doing what I'm doing, and
All right.
have fun with speedrunning.
PPMD. Craig Asner.
What is it you do, if you don't mind me asking?
I kind of don't want to get into it that much, if you don't mind.
Okay.
That's fine. Understandable.
Yeah, sorry about that. Most
it's all
people
good.
are like, yeah, cool with talking about that stuff, but I don't know. I like to keep stuff separate sometimes.
He's a low-key man. You stay under the radar. I respect it.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
Never-
funny. Not many people that I even know in real life had any idea that I do speedrunning or YouTube stuff. I just keep them separate.
That's awesome though. Okay.
Oh, this is a good question from Unison. SummoningSalt, would you consider doing vids on EG profiles about how they started and what motivates them and their goals? I think that would be interesting.
Your mic actually cut out there for a sec, but I think we got the gist.
Yeah, I see the question. People have actually asked about that a few times. I think they've suggested it, and I don't think it would work that well because if you take the history of a game, right, and there's a lot of, you could talk about the strategy changes, you can talk about battles that two runners had, you can talk about how a time got lower, you can talk about glitches, you can talk about any controversies. There's a lot of different things you could talk about. When you're looking at just one person in particular, you could talk about the games that they ran and maybe how their times got lower. But I mean, I don't think there's really enough there to warrant a video or like a really interesting story unless the person is like named Billy Mitchell or Todd Rogers or something like that. Like, I don't think there's enough there.
Okay. I think that's a really good idea though. It sounds really
Yeah,
interesting.
someone else could try it, but I don't think I'm gonna try it.
Never thought about that. Sorry about the noise in the microphone. I don't know what's going on. A short, loud, high pitch. Are you hearing the noise simply?
No.
I'm not hearing
Short,
it either.
loud, high pitched noise. I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening. I apologize. All right. Very short, extremely loud static. I apologize so bad. I hope it's not on the. I'll probably check out the highlight and see. Okay.
Right.
Well, good stuff, dude. You guys have any more questions in chat? Or is it time to
put anything in Discord? Yeah, I think we covered all the stuff in Discord.
Well, SummoningSalt, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, guys. I'm a big fan of like watching both of you guys stream. I usually just lurk. I don't usually post a bunch of stuff in chat, but when you guys are streaming stuff, it's pretty often that I'm watching. So thanks, guys.
That's cool, man. Punky said he has a question. Kind of scared to read it, but we're gonna wait anyway.
Yeah, he's just gonna say I have a question. That's it. Make sure if you aren't
right
or you haven't checked out the videos, that is SummoningSalt's YouTube channel, and also it's worth giving the man a follow on Twitch. He does Mike Tyson's Punch Out and other things. You might see some Cash Dash. That could be good.
Cash Dash is coming back.
Yeah, dude.
When am I making a video about why 0 and 1 star should be banned categories? Dude, what does Punky have against these short categories? I don't get it.
Punky always does this. He hates
Punky's a hater. Punky just likes to hate, He likes to stir the pot a little bit sometimes. He's a pot stirrer, if you will.
A pot stirrer. All right. Well, thank you so much, Salt. It's been a pleasure, dude. I was looking forward to this one a lot.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. This was fun.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Simp, give us an update on the whole iTunes and Google Play thing, because I'm still not able to find the podcast on there. on my Google
Really?
Play. I don't know what's going on.
Have you gone to play music?
No, what is that?
I think that's where I'm pretty sure that's where podcasts are
That's an
stored.
option. So wait, is it a different application or is it the same Google Play application?
I don't know. I
Oh,
don't
wait,
have
wait,
an
wait.
idea.
I see it. Play music. What the heck?
Yeah,
It
look
is.
up the two dads on that, bro.
Oh my
It
god.
should be there.
Google Play music. Okay.
Yeah, Doug found it. There we
No
go.
way.
Hey.
Sick.
Well, looking forward to seeing what you've got in store, SummoningSalt. Yeah, I'll see you around, man.
Thank you so
All
much for
right.
being here.
Catch you guys later. Happy birthday again, Simp.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Party hard.
I will. That's the plan right now. I'm gonna go to B-Dubs. No.
All right.
Oh, B-dubs. I can't wait to go to GDQ and go to B-dubs like every day, like we always do. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Next Monday. Well, no. Oh, I think we should mention though, just to make sure in case some people don't know. For now, we decided to have episodes every other Monday and not every Monday. It's been getting more and more difficult to like get guests on every single week because a lot of times, sometimes guests can't are not available, or we can't find a guest in time, or something comes up. We thought, and Simply has exams coming up soon. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I already took my exams. I'm good. But
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
We're gonna give it the every other week thing.
Yeah,
We'll give that a
and
go for a while.
My brother is gonna be in Spain with me from actually the Monday coming. He's coming on Monday, so it would have been impossible for us to have a show this Monday coming. He's gonna be here for like 3 months, so every week would be difficult for me. So we decided for now we'll have a show every other Monday, so every 2 weeks instead, and we'll see how that goes.
Yes.
Yeah, so we keep you guys posted. Thanks for watching, everybody. Love you.